Auditor Yost, look, as I mentioned to him when we met privately, it was his efforts that kicked this up a notch for us to elevate it to a priority. So I think he certainly needed to be here, and I'm really happy he joined us in this. We have a representative from the Attorney General's office, and I want to ask him to come up. Constitutional Offices Section Chief Damian Sikora is here on behalf of Mike DeWine, who also has made this a priority of his administration.
Thank you. I want to just start out by thanking you for allowing me to be here and apologizing for Mike DeWine's absence. This bill is something he truly supports, but he is currently in Pike County right now being briefed on the investigation that's going on there. The AG, Attorney General DeWine, is a big believer in open government and transparency. We set up a mediation program for the local entities, but we were limited at the state level. And again, the goal of that was to cheaply, easily allow people to get the records they want. This is exactly what this bill has been put forth by President Faber does. We are behind this bill, and we look forward to having this bill in place so that people can get the records they want, and so that people have an opportunity to see what's going on in their own governments. And I think this is a wonderful step for the state of Ohio moving in that direction. Thank you.
Thank you. As we went through this process, both the Auditor's Office and the Attorney General's Office and this next person in interviews all offered meaningful suggestions on improvements. You've heard me say this when I give speeches all the time. Sometimes the best ideas don't always totally come from legislators, and this was a collaborative process. And so I want to recognize Dennis Hetzel from the Ohio Newspaper Association for some of your remarks.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank President Faber, the Auditor, and the Attorney General for their support of this. This bill, it'll be very interesting to see what happens to it, what ideas may come up to even improve it further, but I think it's a terrific piece of legislation that's going to open up access, information for all Ohio citizens. Ohio's in the minority of states that have had no statutory process to take an appeal of a records denial without having to hire a lawyer and go to court. So this is really about leveling the playing field. In other words, the government has a tremendous advantage, and even though most governments, I do believe, try to do the right thing, sometimes they're wrong or they don't know. And there are cases that every reporter in this room certainly can think of instances where they've dealt with a lot of obfuscation, delay, et cetera, So when you have to hire a lawyer and go to court, it gives a tremendous advantage to the government, and they can just run out the clock, wait. And they also know that most citizens and even a lot of other organizations don't have the resources to litigate and go through this fight. And also there's a timely need for records in many cases. It also is going to help a lot of governmental bodies. All of the largest governmental bodies, do not necessarily have lawyers on staff or experts in this type of litigation. So again, it will be a faster, expedited process for the governmental bodies too, as opposed to hiring outside counsel or relying on internal counsel, retainer, or whatever, who may not have expertise in these issues. So I think it's going to help local government in many cases too. So why does it matter? The most important thing to remember is these are public records. They're not the government's records. The government is the custodian of these records. So a faster, expedited process just makes a lot of sense, and it's going to be a novel process. I don't think there's another state, even in the majority of states that have something, they're doing it quite this way. Keeping it in the court of claims makes a lot of sense. So I'm very supportive of the concept that Senator Faber has developed here. I also want to say something real quickly about the other thing that's in the bill that the Senator mentioned. About 2 years ago, the Ohio Supreme Court in a case called South Euclid v. DeFranco, maybe it's the other way around, but in that case, they came to a result where even though she was right, she couldn't collect attorney fees in a rather egregious situation where there was a lot of delays. And it was really a language problem in the law that was not the intent of the supporters of that law several years ago. So that now, as Senator Faber said, with this fix, as it were, in this bill, you'll be able to collect attorney fees even if the court hasn't issued an order, depending on the specific circumstances of that case. So again, it's about giving citizens more of an opportunity